Welcome to Lesson 26 of the workbook. Today we're addressing something that might sound paradoxical at first. The idea that when you attack in your mind, you're not hurting anyone else as much as you're hurting yourself. The lesson states it clearly. My attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. This is a turning point in the workbook. Up until now, we've been loosening our grip on the meanings we've given to things, recognizing that we don't understand what we see. Now we're beginning to look at the actual mechanism by which we make ourselves suffer, and it all starts with attack thoughts. Let's read the lesson together and explore what it's teaching us. The lesson begins with a statement that seems obvious once you think about it. It is surely obvious that if you can be attacked, you are not invulnerable. You see attack as a real threat. That is because you believe that you can really attack. And what would have effects through you must also have effects on you. This is introducing a fundamental spiritual law. Whatever you give, you receive. Whatever you believe you can do to others, you believe can be done to you. If you think your attack thoughts have real power to harm someone else, then you must believe that attack thoughts have real power to harm you. You can't have it both ways. The lesson continues. It is this law that will ultimately save you, but you are misusing it now. You must therefore learn how it can be used for your own best interests, rather than against them. This law of giving and receiving works both ways. Right now you're using it to attack yourself every time you attack another in your mind. But this same law means that when you extend love and peace, you experience love and peace. When you give forgiveness, you feel forgiven. The law itself is neutral, but it's absolutely consistent. Then comes a crucial insight. Because your attack thoughts will be projected, you will fear attack. And if you fear attack, you must believe that you are not invulnerable. Attack thoughts therefore make you vulnerable in your own mind, which is where the attack thoughts are. Notice where this is happening. In your own mind. You're not actually being attacked by the outside world. You're making yourself vulnerable through your own attack thoughts. The attack is happening in your mind, and that's where you experience the vulnerability. The lesson states it plainly. Attack thoughts and invulnerability cannot be accepted together. They contradict each other. You cannot simultaneously believe you're invulnerable and harbor attack thoughts. It's logically impossible. The moment you think an attack thought, you're declaring that attack is real and has power. And if attack has power, then you can be attacked. Your invulnerability is gone. Now comes the key teaching of this lesson. The idea for today introduces the thought that you always attack yourself first. If attack thoughts must entail the belief that you are vulnerable, their effect is to weaken you in your own eyes. Thus, they have attacked your perception of yourself. And because you believe in them, you can no longer believe in yourself. A false image of yourself has come to take the place of what you are. Read that again slowly. You always attack yourself first. Every attack thought, before it does anything to anyone else, does something to you. It weakens you. It makes you vulnerable. It replaces your true image with a false one. You become, in your own mind, someone who can be hurt, someone who needs to defend, someone who is at the mercy of a hostile world. The lesson then offers tremendous hope. Practice with today's idea will help you to understand that vulnerability or invulnerability is the result of your own thoughts. Nothing except your thoughts can attack you. Nothing except your thoughts can make you think you are vulnerable. And nothing except your thoughts can prove to you this is not so. This is empowering once you really grasp it. You're not vulnerable because of what's happening in the world. You're vulnerable because of what's happening in your mind. And since your thoughts are under your control, your vulnerability is not a fixed condition. It's a choice you're making, usually unconsciously. Let's dive deeper into the theoretical foundation here. You are, in your true nature, invulnerable. You are spirit, not a body. You are eternal, not temporary. You are whole, not fragmented. Nothing real can be threatened. This is your natural state. But you've chosen to believe you're a body, a separate self, vulnerable to attack from other separate selves. And to maintain this belief, you must constantly attack in your mind. You attack to prove that attack is real. You attack to justify your fear. You attack to maintain the illusion of separation. Here's how it works. You have an attack thought about someone. Maybe you judge them, criticize them in your mind, wish something bad would happen to them, or just feel annoyed by their existence. In that moment, you're declaring that this person has the power to disturb your peace. You're saying that what they do or don't do can affect your well-being. You're making yourself vulnerable to them. But it goes deeper than that. When you attack in your mind, you're reinforcing the belief that you are a separate self who can be threatened by other separate selves. You're strengthening the ego's entire thought system. You're moving further away from remembering your invulnerability as spirit. The ego would have you believe that attack thoughts protect you. It tells you that by judging someone, you're defending yourself. By seeing their faults, you're establishing your superiority. By mentally attacking them, you're keeping yourself safe from their attack. But the exact opposite is true. Every attack thought makes you more vulnerable. It reinforces your belief that you're a body that can be hurt. It strengthens your identification with the ego. It places you in a world of constant threat where you must always be on guard. Your attack thoughts create the very vulnerability you fear. This is why the lesson says you always attack yourself first. Before your attack thought does anything to the other person, it has already attacked you. It has attacked your peace. It has attacked your perception of yourself as invulnerable. It has attacked your connection to truth. You are the first and primary victim of every attack thought you think. Think about how this operates in daily life. Someone cuts you off in traffic and you have angry, attacking thoughts about them. Did those thoughts hurt them? They don't even know you're thinking them, but those thoughts immediately made you upset, tense, angry. You attacked yourself with them. Someone says something you interpret as criticism, and you mentally attack them back, thinking about all their faults, how they have no right to judge you. Did that help you? No. It made you feel defensive, small, vulnerable to their opinion. You attacked yourself. The false image that replaces what you are is the image of yourself as vulnerable, as someone who needs to attack to survive, as someone who must constantly defend against a hostile world. This image feels so real because you reinforce it constantly with your attack thoughts, but it's entirely constructed by your own mind. Your true invulnerability doesn't mean nothing can happen to your body. It means that what you truly are cannot be threatened by anything in this world. Your peace cannot be disturbed unless you choose to let attack thoughts disturb it. Your wholeness cannot be diminished unless you choose to see yourself as fragmented and under threat. Your invulnerability is a fact about your spiritual reality, but attack thoughts make you forget this and identify with vulnerability instead. Now let's look at the practice instructions. 6 practice periods are required in applying today's idea. A full 2 minutes should be attempted for each of them, although the time may be reduced to a minute if the discomfort is too great. Do not reduce it further. Notice that the Course acknowledges this practice might be uncomfortable. You're being asked to look at your attack thoughts and recognize what they're doing to you. This can be difficult, but don't skip it. Don't reduce the practice below 1 minute. This is important work. The practice period should begin with repeating the idea for today, then closing your eyes and reviewing the unresolved questions whose outcomes are causing you concern. The concern may take the form of depression, worry, anger, a sense of imposition, fear, foreboding, or preoccupation. Any problem as yet unsettled that tends to recur in your thoughts during the day is a suitable subject. So you're looking for situations that are bothering you, that keep coming back to your mind, that are causing concern in any form. These are the situations where your attack thoughts are most active, even if you don't recognize them as attack thoughts. The lesson continues. You will not be able to use very many for any one practice period because a longer time than usual should be spent with each one. Today's idea should be applied as follows. First, name the situation. I am concerned about. Then go over every possible outcome that has occurred to you in that connection and which has caused you concern, referring to each one quite specifically, saying, I am afraid will happen. This is detailed work. You're not just acknowledging a general worry. You're identifying specific feared outcomes. This is where you discover how many attack thoughts are actually operating under the surface of your concerns. If you are doing the exercises properly, you should have some 5 or 6 distressing possibilities available for each situation you use, and quite possibly more. It is much more helpful to cover a few situations thoroughly than to touch on a larger number. So choose 1 or 2 situations for each practice period and really dig into them. What are you afraid might happen? List the specific outcomes that worry you. As the list of anticipated outcomes for each situation continues, you will probably find some of them, especially those that occur to you toward the end, less acceptable to you. Try, however, to treat them all alike to whatever extent you can. You might find yourself resisting some of the fears as they come up. That's okay. Just notice the resistance and continue the practice. After you have named each outcome of which you are afraid, tell yourself, that thought is an attack upon myself. Conclude each practice period by repeating today's idea to yourself once more. This is the crucial recognition. Each feared outcome is an attack thought. You're attacking yourself by entertaining it. You're making yourself vulnerable by believing in it. Let's walk through an example of how this practice might work. Suppose you're concerned about a work situation. You say, I am concerned about my job performance review. Then you identify specific fears. I am afraid my boss will criticize me. I am afraid I won't get a raise. I am afraid I'll be passed over for promotion. I am afraid my colleagues think I'm incompetent. I am afraid I'll be fired. After each one you say, that thought is an attack upon myself, and you recognize that it's true. Each of these thoughts is attacking your peace, your confidence, your sense of invulnerability. You're making yourself vulnerable to all these possibilities. You're weakening yourself with these attack thoughts. Or maybe you're concerned about a relationship. I am concerned about my friendship with, say the name. I am afraid they don't really like me. I am afraid they'll abandon me. I am afraid they're talking about me behind my back. I am afraid I said something wrong. I am afraid our friendship will end. Each feared outcome is an attack thought directed at yourself. You're attacking your own peace, your own sense of security, your own invulnerability. As you practice this throughout the day, you'll start to notice something remarkable. Most of your mental activity consists of these kinds of attack thoughts disguised as legitimate concerns. You think you're just being realistic, planning ahead, protecting yourself. But you're actually attacking yourself constantly with fears about possible outcomes. You might also notice that many of your attack thoughts about others are really fears about yourself projected outward. When you judge someone as incompetent, you're often afraid you're incompetent. When you attack someone for being selfish, you're often afraid you're selfish. The attack on them is ultimately an attack on yourself. The practice might bring up discomfort because you're seeing clearly how you've been hurting yourself. But this recognition is the beginning of freedom. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. By seeing that your attack thoughts attack your invulnerability, you create the possibility of choosing differently. As you work with this lesson, you might experience some shifts. You might notice moments where you catch yourself in an attack thought and feel the vulnerability it creates. You might have insights about how much of your anxiety and fear is self-generated through these thoughts. You might feel relief as you recognize that you have control over this, that you're not at the mercy of circumstances, but of your own thinking. Some people report that this practice reveals how exhausting it is to constantly attack themselves with worried thoughts. Others notice how their physical body relaxes when they recognize attack thoughts for what they are and choose not to engage with them. Still others find that their relationships improve because they're less defensive, less prone to perceiving attack. The key understanding is this: your invulnerability is your natural state, but you obscure it with attack thoughts. Every time you think an attack thought, whether directed at yourself, another person, or a situation, you're declaring that you're vulnerable. You're making yourself weak in your own eyes. You're replacing the truth of what you are with a false image of vulnerability. If you want to deepen your understanding, I invite you to watch the explanatory videos on the text chapters. These explanations, along with daily practice, accelerate the transformation. This lesson is giving you the key to reclaiming your invulnerability. It's not about developing thicker skin or better defenses. It's about recognizing that attack thoughts are what make you vulnerable in the first place. When you withdraw those thoughts, when you refuse to engage in mental attack, your natural invulnerability becomes apparent. Practice this lesson with honesty and thoroughness. Look at your concerns, identify the specific feared outcomes, and recognize each one as an attack upon yourself. This isn't about guilt or self-judgment. It's about clarity. You're simply seeing what you've been doing unconsciously so you can make a different choice. Remember, you are invulnerable in truth. Nothing can really harm what you are. But you obscure this truth when you believe in attack, when you think attack thoughts have power, when you make yourself vulnerable through your own thinking. Today's practice helps you see this mechanism clearly so you can begin to undo it. As you go through your day, whenever you notice yourself worrying, fearing, or attacking in your mind, remember, this thought is attacking my invulnerability. This thought is making me vulnerable. This thought is weakening me. And then choose again. Choose peace. Choose to remember your invulnerability. Choose to withdraw the attack thought. This is how you learn to use the law of giving and receiving for your benefit instead of against yourself. This is how you reclaim your natural state. This is how you wake up from the dream of vulnerability and remember what you truly are. Practice with dedication and watch how your experience begins to shift as you stop attacking yourself with your own thoughts. Thank you for being here. See you tomorrow.